Hello and welcome to another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, as you can see behind me, Sky Division. Though I guess you could see it down there as well. A game about, as in at least reading the first paragraph of the synopsis, lost on a desert island with a wounded enemy pilot and no resources. Can you cooperate even though you're enemies, or will you kill each other? Sky Division is a visual novel that deals with themes such as meaninglessness of war and unrequited love. So yeah, the gist of this story right here is like humans left the planet Earth, I guess. There's like a totalitarian federation force. You find a planet that's like, ooh, no one's living there. We should go populate it. But then there's like people there, which I guess is these animal people here. That also said something like that they were the aliens? I don't know. We'll read it in a bit. But yeah, it's gay and femboy. Also, the thing that did confuse me, you don't have any music right here, but there's a voice actor? That seems promising. Also, before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and are getting the news version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month. Also, if you want me to do a Let's Play series of this game, then tell me, and I'll give it a point, which will put up higher on the user's choice list. Also, if you have any other games you want me to quick look, then tell me, and I'll give it a point for the Let's Plays, and also put it in the quick look folder. Hyena. So, we're going to reset our face, after we put that there, and begin. Warning, it is a wood, so I'm going to be censoring a lot, and not reading things, because I recently got my woo slapped because of it. Story contains fictional stuff, so it's, not realistic that, we're spacefaring people. It's just fantasy. Continue at your own responsibility. I thought that it had different artwork, that maybe some of it is, I don't know. Welcome, stranger. Are you legally an adult? I guess so. I do adult quite a bit. Are you legally an adult? Hello, I'm Marcus, the developer. If you're new here, let me welcome you. And if you're a veteran, let me thank you for these 2 years of support. Well, I'm not a veteran. There is still much to do, and a new project in the works. And a new project? I'll share more details soon. I hope you'll enjoy it. And a big thanks to you, Happy the Femboy, for voicing Dax. I guess that's the twink. The femboy? Anyways, links to their Twitter and Fiverr are available in the main menu. Now, what's your name, stranger? Default? Wait, is it just gonna be player? Let's just say Dark the Wolf. I mean, this game would be pretty good if it had voice acting, Though, sound warning just in case. Because it did have everything below max, but still. My name is Dark. Welcome, Dark. I hope you have fun. Date. Unknown time. 0800 location. Flying over someplace near islands. 02450. In the southern hemisphere of the planet Terra Nova. Isn't that supposed to be our planet? I don't know. I mean, we call it Terra. Red leader to base. We're entering enemy territory. Base. Roger. Red leader. Analyze the island for potential threats. Report any anomalies. Over and out. Well, gentlemen, we are the elite of the Terran Air Force Cavalry. We can't afford to screw up. Stay alert, and we'll return to base in one piece. Oh, that's gonna take forever. One piece. Understood? Affirmative. Yes, sir. Roger, sir. Roger. Blaze. Man, I miss Ace Combat. What was it, 3? Or 4? I don't know. Well, any question before the party starts? I have one question, sir. Is it true that they have femboys? That this is entire civilization made of femboys? Speaker at 5. Why are you flying over abandoned islands in enemy territory while others are fighting on the front lines? According to intelligence, This is the most optimal route for launching a large-scale assault. Our duty is to check that the islands do not have any type of defenses that our satellites have not detected. It will be simple. We fly over a bit, send some probes to scan, and that's it. Once confirmed that everything's fine, in less than an hour we'll be back to base, ready to go to the front and slaughter some Kurgans. Kurgans? Rogue? A big explosion to your right rattled your ears and shook your fighter. Just looking at the thing there. Red 5's down. I repeat, Red 5 is dead. Where did it come from? Shit, I don't know. The radar didn't detect anything. Break formation. 3 o'clock. 6 fighters above the clouds. Fox 2, Fox 2. Combat formation. Red leader to base. Enemy contact. 5 is down. Engaging in combat. Base. Receive, Red leader. We can't send reinforcements. You're on your own. Glory to the Federation. And glory to Terra. So Terra is the place we came from? Or is this Earth? Oh, I don't know. Because maybe I read it wrong when I first read the synopsis. Receive base. Glory to Terra. Out. Get 'em. Yes, sir. Here they come. Maybe put the thing up just a smidge. Options? Just keeping an eye on it, you know? It seems very quiet for us being in a fighter thing. Anyways, rafts of shrapnel and explosive ammunition flew at high speed through the skies, tinting the clouds black. I've got you, bastard. One's down. Watch out, Red 2. You've got one behind you. Evasive maneuvers. Help, I can't lose him. Help, I can't lose him. Launching flares. I've got it in my sights. Turn to the right. Red 2 sharply turns to the right, clearing the way for you to shoot. When the enemy fighter entered your crosshairs, you pulled the trigger. The projectiles hit the right wing, and someone straight to the enemy's pilot cabin, causing severe damage. But even so, the aircraft continues to make evasive maneuvers in an attempt to stay out of the fight. Or stay in the fight? Out of the fight? Yeah, okay. Good job, Red 3. Finish him. Roger. I won't let him run away. You separated from your squadron, following the smoky enemy fighter that zigzagged left to right to evade your burst. Oh, this must be the femboy. Now, don't get too far, Red 3. Remember that we are in enemy territory. I got one. It's too... Damn, I got hit. I'm bleeding. Red 2, cover Red 4. I'm being targeted. I'm out of flirt. Red 2? Red 2! Red 2's down. We can't continue. We've suffered too many losses. Retreat. But, sir, that's an order. Red 3, where the hell are you? It's mine. I'm not gonna let it escape. Fuck. Warning lights begin to sound as the enemy ships locked onto you and launched a guided missile. Shit, throwing flares. I've got company, sir. Get away from them and come back here. Red 4 is badly wounded. We must return to base. Roger, I'm I like someone knocked on my, airplane? A blast hit the engine of your ship, which was already barely hanging in the air. I'm hit. I'm fucking falling down. Repeat, I'm going down. I don't... Copy. Red 3, and... What? Communication systems shutting down. The control panel showed severe damage to the fuselage and the engine. The fire quickly spread from the engine. You absolutely lost control of the ship, which began to spiral down. You pulled the ejection lever and flew out of the cockpit. Thump. You opened your parachute and descended slowly towards an island. Were it not for the noise and the smoke of your crashing fighter, this place seemed to be quite peaceful. You landed on a tree, hitting branches on the way down until you reached the ground. When you touched the ground, you looked up, searching for any sign of the ship that shot you down or your unit. Though there were only a few birds flying over the island, You're exhausted from the tension of the combat. Uniform is soaked in sweat, and your mouth was dry. Unknown sounds emanated from all directions, giving you the feeling of being surrounded by fierce, unimaginable creatures. What is this tweet, tweet, tweet sound? Must be like some kind of predator. You look for your gun, but it was none. It must have fallen when I jumped. I'm dead. He carried only a survival kit, a knife, and a first aid kit. A crudely drawn knife. Fortunately for you, Terra knives are made of a composite of steel and carbon nanofibers. This gives it great hardness and an edge that could cut through almost anything. You then looked up for any sign of the ship that shot you down, or your unit. Definitely dead. In the distance, you spot a column of smoke rising through the dense vegetation. Perhaps it's someone from a squadron. Intrigued, you head towards the column of smoke. It was difficult to walk among so much vegetation, so you used your knife to cut your way through. It's a knife, not a machete, dude. After walking for about half an hour, you managed to reach the source of the plumes. Among the dense jungle, you discovered an enemy ship crashed. The smoking hull showed signs of violent landing. The pilot must have tried with all their might to make an emergency landing. You slowly open up the cabin, knife at the ready. The cabin was empty. The control panel has shrapnel embedded in it, and there's blood everywhere. What is this thing that seems to be, like, the wing folded over, I guess? I don't know. How could they have survived after losing so much blood? And, even more importantly, how could they have walked away in such a condition? And I forgot to turn off that thing. My bad. Badoom, turn off that, and sorry, Discord person, I will message you later. You couldn't have gone far. The sound of a branch breaking behind you made your skin crawl. Drop the knife and turn around slowly. Turn. His wounds will probably deal with him in, I guess, before I do.
Be quiet, human.
I didn't say you could speak. Okay, it does have voice acting. ... Drop it. Okay. Well, I mean, they might have a gun. You drop the knife. Turn slowly. Okay, he does have a knife. And Jesus! Look at the size of that thing. And I'm not meaning the gun. You turn around, raising both your arms. Huh. For some reason I thought there was going to be, like, a lot more voice acting. Maybe it's one of those things where there's going to be more voice acting in the future. What was that other... Oh, chord progressions where it's like, here's this one line of voice acting, and then nothing. I guess it's like to get the general VA idea for these people. Do you only have that knife? Yes. Empty your pockets. Slowly. The pilot aiming at you looked severely injured and could barely stand up. I mean, he looks perfectly fine to me. Do as what I said. You dropped it, right next to the survival kit. Next to the survival and first aid kits. That's all? You nodded. The pilot staggered a bit, trying not to fall. The blood loss is clearly severe. I would be more concerned about that wound on your leg. That tourniquet won't do you any good if you don't take care of it. Shut your mouth and don't move. I'll shut your mouth. It will. For assistance? I have a kit. It's not much, but it will help. Don't move. Well, I only have one thing. Calm down, just want to help. I said don't move. The pilot shot near your feet. I would not warn you again. He can barely hold the weapon steady. There's only a matter of time before they pass out and bleed to death. Is there anyone else with you? There's a medical team nearby. Also HQ. Do you have any communication devices? All burned on my ship. The enemy pilot was panting and gritting their teeth to endure the pain. You are my prisoner. Turn around and walk 10 steps. That usually doesn't sound good. Don't do anything stupid. You walked 10 steps and stopped. He bent down as best he could to pick up your things. Walk, and don't turn around. We'll look for a high place. Why? Why are you looking for a high place? It's none of your business. Now walk. Man, being ordered around by a femboy can only be so hard. Woo. Anyways, you both walked for a few minutes in silence, only interrupted by the sounds of wind rustling the surrounding trees and palms. The heat was stifling. The humid climate of the jungle made it even worse. Ew, humidity. I mean, I guess it's a jungle island. Anyways, you walked aimlessly until you heard something hit the ground behind you. Turn around. Oh no. Okay, he has a bit more cuts. And damn, why is it so skin tight? Damn. You turn around, only to find the pilot lying still on the ground. I mean, protocol for stuff like that is to ask if somebody's okay and responsive before you do stuff, especially if he has a gun. I don't know. No answer. Can you hear me? Can you stand up? You walk slowly toward him. He doesn't move, but he's still breathing. He's losing too much blood. It would be a miracle if he survived these injuries. This might be my chance anyway. He's already dead. But I want to bang him. With difficulty, you turned him face up, even though he already is. You started going through his pockets and compartments of the dying pilot's suit. You found some rather strange small cubes. In another compartment, you found a tightly closed box with an inscription you couldn't read. Maybe it's a first aid kit. In a small pocket, you find a small device. This might be what it used to communicate with her friends. What should I do now? You looked around, and all you could see were trees and vegetation in abundance. The sky was beginning to cloud over, and the sound of thunder rumbled in the distance. It'll rain soon. I should look for a place to take shelter. Looked at your dying enemy lying on the ground. But what am I going to do with them? After thinking for a few seconds and seeing his terrible condition, you made a decision. You went, excuse me. Let me get a tissue for a sec. And not for that reason. That's like the second time in like, what, 2 or 3 of these things I've been sneezing? I don't know. And I haven't been sneezing throughout the day. You were thinking for a few seconds, you couldn't just let him die like that. You don't know why, but you felt compassion. A word foreign and distant, but it perfectly described where you're feeling at the moment. Oh yeah, I guess there's also this thing where it's like, people kind of have their emotions controlled in a way or something like that. So concepts like that are a bit foreign. You gathered your things and took his weapon. The wind shook the trees with force. You slung one over your shoulder and started your quest. He wasn't too heavy, so it was easy to carry him. The first raindrops began to fall in the leaves on the trees. I guess we could put up the audio just a smidge. Because usually I want it, like, at least kissing the yellow. You walked briskly, looking for a place to take shelter from the storm. It was getting harder to walk, but in the distance, you managed to see a cave. You walked as fast as you could towards the entrance. It was quite spacious and would protect you from the weather. The smell inside was strange, damp, as if it were mold. I mean, mold won't be the thing that will kill us here, hopefully. I mean, it is an alien planet, maybe? It doesn't seem like any animals live inside. Carefully, you laid him on the ground and took off his helmet. Wait, he had a helmet on? I've never seen one of your kind before. He took off the pilot suit, leaving him completely naked. Okay, I'm going to have to censor that. No, not a picture of me. Picture of this femboy. He's covered in fur. This is not the time for this. I have to help him, not pet him. Also, those are superficial wounds. Unless they're like actually really deep and for some reason don't have any sort of thing, pulling out of them. Also, why is he hard? You weren't a doctor. You couldn't just stand there doing nothing. You found lacerations on his torso, arms, and legs. It seems that there's shrapnel embedded in several of the wounds. Blood is flowing abundantly from his wounds. His weak breath indicated that he was still clinging to life. How the hell is he still alive? And how did he manage to walk being so injured? You moved his tourniquet in time, saving his leg from being amputated. Yeah, because you have to undo it periodically to not have the leg lose all the blood. Well, die from lack of oxygen stuff. Shit, I don't think I can save him, but I'll do what I can with what little I have. Like any Terran Federation pilot, you possess survival and first aid skills. First thing to do is clean disinfect. He cleaned up the blood and looked for embedded metal pieces. Have to remove the fragments. Then suture and bandage. And hopefully he didn't nick an artery. With the tweezers, you begin to remove the shrapnel fragments. When tending to his wounds, your mind wandered between the events of the dogfight and the strange irony of helping an injured enemy. You cleaned the wounds with water from the canteen and then with the antiseptic. I don't think I'd be able to stitch myself closed. I mean, I did have a big wound which I just kind of taped closed-ish. Not a big wound, but Not that you had to pull it together, but still. We didn't have... But anyways, once clean, you stitched them up as best you could. He lost too much blood. He'll need transfusion. But I have no idea if our blood types are compatible. Well, no shit, he's an alien. Also, or at the very least, it's a different species, But if we don't, he'll die anyway. You drew blood as quickly as possible with the help of a blood extract device from the first aid kit. Well, that's useful. Once the bag was filled with almost half a liter of blood, you proceeded to inject it into him. Within an hour, you were done. His body showed signs of resilience, though he had lost a lot of blood. His pulse was surprisingly persistent, although they can't do anything else. The antibiotics should prevent infection. All that remains is to wait. I mean, it looks like he has enough blood by the size of that. The rain was very heavy outside, and it was about to get dark. If I don't make a fire, we won't survive the night. Alright, it is reading odds, and also 10 o'clock. Lucky, there were some dry branches in the cave. Okay, now we don't have to censor that. You improvised a fire near the wounded being, and covered them with a thermal blanket. You only had one in your survival kit. It should keep you warm. You need to rest a little. Just a little. Tiredness made you close your eyes as soon as you lay down on the hard rocks beside the figure. From one moment to the next, you had become an improvised medic, fighting to save life. Sorry, just all of a sudden my things like, body's like, we're gonna resist you reading. No. Fighting to save the life of your enemy. The storm battered the island all night. Day 3. You woke up hungry and exhausted. The singing birds could be heard outside, announcing the beginning of the day. You barely got a couple hours of sleep during the night. At least it's daylight now. I'm thirsty. You picked up the canteen, but it was empty. Well, if I know what Bear Grill does, I'll drink my own pee. You approached the pilot, who was lying unconscious in the same place where you left him. He's sweating a lot, but in the humid heat of the island, it is too much. Even in the humid heat of the island, it is too much. Oh, because he's sick. Or something, maybe. Though, if it's a humid heat stuff, would we need a fire? You put your hands on his forehead. It was very hot. He has a high fever and is sweating a lot. It could be a hemolytic reaction to the blood transfusion. Hemologic? If that's the case, there's nothing I can do for him. He'll die soon. How does that work anyways? But I can't just let him die without doing anything. Where do you have shelter? A cave is a good place. The important thing now is to look for fresh water. Don't die while I'm outside. I try to find something to help you. A gun. He picked up his weapon, which is a small pistol, heavy and sturdy. Looks like it's from Mass Effect. How the hell do you use this thing? You could feel the heat waft over you as soon as you came out of the cave. It's unlike any weapon I've ever seen. Also, it looks completely different from the one he was holding before. You aimed at a nearby tree and tried to fire. You tried to pull the trigger, but nothing happened. You pressed several buttons at random until a red light came on and made a sound. I guess it's ready to fire. Or self-destruct. I don't know how much ammunition I have. Should I shoot to test the gun? I mean, that's actually a hard thing. Because you want to test your weapons, but you also don't want to use ammunition that you only have so much of. Let's try and save it. I should use it only in case of emergency. Hopefully there's nothing we need to use it on. You're ready to face the unknown. Not really. You walked in a straight line through the brush, making signs in the trees to remember the way. Weird sounds came from all directions, creating a disorienting atmosphere as he advanced. The island is larger than it looks from the sky. Its ecosystem was teeming with life, although there was no sign of civilization. Damn heat. Oh great, there's mosquitoes. And damn insects. You heard a rather frightening growl coming from behind the dense vegetation, followed by slowly approaching steps. You swallowed saliva and gathered your courage. You aimed the gun towards where the noises were coming from. You aimed the weapon towards where the sounds were coming from, but nothing happened. Just silence. Your heart was beating as if it wanted to jump out of your chest. Seconds passed, and you started to feel desperate. The fear had transformed in anger. Come at me, you thought. But nothing came out to attack you from the shadows of the bushes. You walked slowly, distancing yourself, never taking your eyes off that place. You returned to the path you created with the marks of the trees. What the fuck was that? There was no time to lose. You had to continue your search. Finally, after so much walking, you laid pond lay before you. You approached and washed your face with cool water, your hands covered in dried blood. I surely smell like death. Oddly enough, death smells sweet. I don't know why. Is that like for everything, or is it just, I don't know. You freshened up a bit, filled your canteen, and drank until your thirst was satisfied. You must be thirsty. You returned into the cave, following the trail up of the marked trees. You're still alive. Good thing you weren't eaten by any animals while I was gone. You knelt down beside your dying enemy. You tilted his head for him to drink some water. That's it. You wiped the sweat from his forehead and applied a piece of wet gauze. Examine, I guess. You approached to see his bandages. They are a little dirty, but do not smell bad. It seems the wounds are not infected. The bandages should be removed to check them better. I don't have many to change every time they get dirty. I'll wait a bit longer. Now that we won't die of thirst, it's time to think about food. I'm exhausted. You sat next to the injured one to rest for a while. It'll be dark soon. It's best to gather firewood and make another campfire. Look for small branches in the surrounding area. You lit the fire and sat down to wait. Also, again, it kind of looks like you're cooking him because he's on top of the fire. Though he's a huge guy. Occasionally, moistening the bandage on his head of the wounded pilot. I can't keep my eyes open. I need day 3. The brightness coming from the entrance woke you up. I'm starving and thirsty. It's been almost 2 days without eating. Today, I have to get food, even if it costs me my life. But first, let's see if my patient's still alive. Nope, he's dead. You approached him. It's good that you're still breathing. I'll give you water and goats for food. Though I have no idea how I'm gonna feed you. Mouth to mouth, duh. Haven't you looked at any sort of romance thingy? I'll think of something. You tilted his head and gave him what was left of the water. You gathered your things and went out in search of food and more water. Now that I think of it, I guess the lungs are in front, so the breathing thing would be in front, so if you tilt their head back, the water would go that way? I don't know. You followed your path to the pond. And sorry for all the... Though I guess it doesn't really appear much on the OBX. The sun's shining overhead. The blue sky without a single cloud. Just scorching sun. I wonder how many degrees it is. I'm dying of heat. You approached the water and drank until it's satisfied. Filled your canteen and freshened up a bit. Now for food. Maybe fruit? Or I could hunt something. Although, I haven't seen many animals. I guess they hide when they hear me coming. I have to be stealthier. Be some kind of jungle cat or something. You walked along the path of marked trees in search of something to hunt. A strange sound came from behind some plants. They seemed to be a small animal. I guess attempt to hunt? You wait in silence, aiming at the plants where the small animal was hiding. A strange animal came out from among the plants. It looked very weird. Cack, cack. Shoot. He fired the gun. Acierto? You shoot the strange animal, which fell to the ground, mortally wounded. You approach to see the creature. It had a strange beak and a shell on its back. Use the knife. You cut its neck. The animal took a few seconds to die, drowning in its own blood. Maybe we should have just gone the fruit. This kind of seems gruesome. You returned to the cave with the animal and the water. You left the animal on the ground and examined it. The shell was very hard and resilient. The legs were strange. It seemed it can swim and walk on land without difficulty. Although it has wings, it doesn't seem to be able to fly. You prepared the meat, cutting it into pieces and separating the shell from the rest. You got a shell. I could use it to boil water. Oh yeah. I mean, if it's running water, it might not be so bad, but if it's still water, yeah. His head will be useless. His legs too. They're very tough and fibrous. I mean, you could boil it and make a soup, I guess. This meat is quite greasy, so it's a duck. Cook some soup. At least, I'll be able to eat something. You're a bit anxious after all. It was your first time cooking something. First time? Ever? Man. Throughout your life, the only thing you had eaten were the rations from the Federation. Those rations consisted of tasteless, hard protein bars, thick soups in pouches, and recycled water that tasted horrible. I tried to make soup with this meat. It shouldn't be that difficult. You searched for wood and made a foyer. You poured the water into the shell and lit the fire. While the water boiled slowly, you cut the meat into smaller pieces and added them. After about 40 minutes, the meat was ready. The abundant fat from the animal floated in small bubbles on the surface. It smells good. You ate some meat and soup. Not bad for the first time. Turned out better than I imagined. When you finished eating, you thought about how to feed your alien companion. You searched the surroundings until you found a piece of bark from a tree that had a curved shape that would serve perfectly as a small and peculiar bowl. You put some of the soup on the bark and gave it to the injured one to drink. Surprisingly, he swallowed the soup without choking. It seemed to like it. I'm not a great cook. This soup will help you get better. I have plenty left over, so I won't have to worry about finding food tomorrow. Let's see how your fever is. You place your hand on his forehead. You're a little better. Tomorrow, I'll clean your wounds. And I'll see what else to do. Tomorrow. Day 4. The sound of a storm woke you up. Water. You jumped and ran outside to fill your canteen. And gotta make sure I have a picture of this so that I know to censor that. Now's the best time to clean his wounds. I have plenty of water. You wash your hands and the first aid kit pins. You slowly remove the dirty bandages. No bleeding or infected wounds. Lacerations are healing at an incredible speed. It would take a human a long time to heal these wounds. If a human survives a hemorrhaging in the first place, that is. You clean the wounds with water and disinfectant. You bandaged the best that you could with the few bandages you had left. Okay. Last time I saw him naked, I didn't pay much attention to him, but he's hot. Now that I look at him more closely, it's amazing how similar he is to us humans. I mean, hopefully it is because, we just gave him our blood, which, he is obviously a male, but his body is different than mine, smaller and cute. I don't know if they're all like that. Your eyes roamed his naked body. His body is different from mine. A shiver ran through your body, and you swallowed uwu hard. You touched his abdomen with your fingers, moving slowly, caressing his fur, until you reached his chest. A shiver ran through your body. What am I thinking? I must be going crazy. Am I a furry? It's best to cover him again before he gets sick. Let's see how your temperature is. You place a hand on his head. Wow, he's almost fever-free now. A few days ago, his head was boiling. Guess he won't die because of my blood. Looks like you're going to be okay, huh? You wash your hands with the rainwater and drink some of it. There's still a few branches barely lit among the ashes of the campfire. You look for small branches inside the cave and add them to the stack. You add the wood, and the fire quickly came to life. Or back to life. Also, he's smaller now. This will keep us warm. I'm hungry. The soup is cold. I'll heat it up and have some before sleeping. You heated up the soup in the shell. You tilted his head for him to drink some of the soup. Shit, more diarrhea. You stripped down naked and ran out of the cave to empty what little was left of your bowels. Well, that's not good. I mean, in civilization, that's completely fine, and also more diarrhea. You didn't mention this before, but like in this sort of environment, that's pretty bad. What was that thing called? You know, where people would die of it a lot in the Oregon Trail games? Dysentery? That's it. You mainly defecated the water that you drank. After eating, you lay down next to the fire. It's possible to go out. It's too strong. Guess I'll rest for today. You lay down near the fire. That's all for today. This is day 5. The persistent rain had ceased. The sun began to filter timidly through the leaves of the trees. Your stomach was your alarm clock. Today, I'll get some food. But first, let's see how you are. You place a hand on his head. No fever. But it'll take him some time to fully recover. His wounds are just beginning to close. You took a moment to rest and think. Your black uniform was full of small holes. You observed your arms, full of scratches and small cuts, as well as your legs. 5 days of walking through dense jungle could leave anyone in bad shape. You have no time to rest. You gather your things and left the cave in search of food. Balanced diet, I guess? You look for something to eat. You reach the fruit plants. Fuck. I mean, are we... Berries can be poisonous, but, like, the things up in the trees usually aren't poisonous, right? So hopefully we can climb that. I'm starving. I'll eat some. You taste the fruit. I'm dead. 1 sec. They neither taste good nor bad. The fruit is very juicy. You gathered several more and took them to the cave. Once in the cave, you drank the water and rested for a while. Damn heat. During the day, the heat and humidity was suffocating, and during the night, the cold is deadly. Fanboy? You heard a faint sob behind you. You regained consciousness. Pain was not a problem when he was unconscious, but maybe I should give him some analgesic drugs? You took an injection out of your medical cabinet. This will soothe your pain. Be surprised when he weakly held your arm, trying to stop you from injecting him.
You dare, human.
Don't you dare, human. You woke up. How do you feel? Thirsty? I also brought you some food. You can torture me as much as you want. I won't say anything, human. This injection has nothing wrong. It's just to ease your pain. He looked at you with his eyes full of distrust. Okay, I guess you don't need it. After storing the injection in the medical cabinet, he sat down in front of him. Puzzled, the enemy pilot looked around. Whatever. Don't worry, you're safe. Where am I? You passed out 5 days ago. After you lost consciousness, I brought you to this cave. We've been here since then. Don't worry, you'll get better. Probably? He saw carefully that you were carrying his gun. So, I'm a prisoner of the Terrans? Yes, you'll be my femboy slave. Don't worry, in the goodest of ways. Don't waste your time and kill me now. You won't get anything from me. There are no humans other than myself. We are on a set of abandoned islands in the middle of nowhere. My fighter exploded in the air. I was lucky to eject in time. Now I'm stranded in this place, just like you. A few seconds of silence. It's gonna get dark soon. I'll make a fire, or we'll freeze to death. You're still very weak. Don't try and get up. You could open your wounds or reopen. You walked out of the cave, looking for dry branches, which you found impossible because it rained a whole bunch, remember? What do I do now? You returned to the cave and brought wood. Enough wood. How do you feel? He pressed his hand against his abdomen. You're not very cooperative, you know. I treated your wounds, and I was taught in the Terran Special Forces. I'm not a doctor. If you don't cooperate, I won't be able to help you. I know that it hurts. This injection will relieve the pain. No way, human. Okay. Though, also to be fair, you know, that was made for humans, not these guys. You don't take horse tranquilizers to deal with COVID. What kind of idiot would do that? Are you thirsty? He is obviously thirsty. He looks suspiciously at the canteen. There's nothing wrong with it. He drank a couple of sips from the canteen. Are you satisfied? You brought the canteen to his mouth. I can drink it myself. He tried to hold the canteen, but it was impossible. He was still too weak and couldn't hold it. Wow, he must be really weak then. Don't be stubborn. You need to hydrate, or you'll dehydrate. He tilted his head and brought the canteen closer for him to drink. He drank several drinks. Not so fast. He'll drown. After drinking, you help him lay his head back down again. You lit the campfire. Now that you're awake, you can eat. It's more nutritious than just drinking liquids. I have like some kind of duck thing soup, duck turtle soup, and also these like purple things from a tree. You picked up the purple fruit and approached him. Get that rubbish away from my face. He's British. Don't worry, I'm not poisonous. See? Took a bite of the fruit. Eat it. You're an idiot. I'm not eating that crap. You have to eat. There's nothing else. He tilted his head and brought the fruit close to him. He took a bite and chewed it with some difficulty. He chewed the pulp with disgust and swallowed it, closing his eyes. Ooh. Ooh, pulp. When I recover, I'm gonna make you pay for this. Why? He doesn't like that fruit? He finished eating his fruit with clear distaste. You ate your fruit and sat down to rest. Now that we've eaten well, we should rest. Tomorrow will be a long day. As opposed to any other day? The enemy pilot was asleep. He fell asleep. It's best not to disturb him. Lay down next to the campfire. He's too weak to move. He couldn't try to kill me while I'm sleeping. The sound of a light drizzle lulled you to sleep until you closed your eyes. Day 6. He still hasn't woken up. And boy. His face reflected pain. There isn't much I can do for him. Well, besides the painkillers. Unless he doesn't allow us, I guess. You gather your things, trying not to make much noise. Hmm? You woke up. Oh, duh, my eyes are open. I'll go out and find some water and food. I'll be back in a few hours. Don't die while I'm away. You left the cave. You walked under the blazing sun. On the way to the lagoon, you had a feeling of being watched. You looked in all directions, but you didn't see anything out of the ordinary. You continued walking, sweeping the jungle with the barrel of your gun. Arrived at the lagoon, you refreshed yourself and drank plenty of water. Now I feel much better. You filled the canteen and bring the water to your stubborn companion. Before returning, I need to look for food. Yeah, food should be good, I guess. Let's go for something to eat. Medium-sized white fruits? I mean, big fruits are usually not that poisonous, right? These huevos? I'm gonna take some with me. I'm starving. I'll eat some. Humans have to eat the fruit you vomited. Followed by severe diarrhea. Damn, my stomach. You turn the cave with nothing. Okay, how will we re-roll that? Pick some fruits. I'm gonna take some with me. I'm starving. I'll eat some. 3 minutes. You started vomiting and experiencing diarrhea. You started vomiting and experiencing diarrhea. When you returned to the cave, you left the fruits. And approached him. How do you feel? In alternate routes, I vomited and shat myself to death. Fine, you can keep being stubborn if you want. I mean, that is a thing. I'm not gonna force you to speak. Same. What? I feel the same as yesterday, human. I'm gonna make a fire. It'll be dark soon. You looked for the wood in the surroundings and brought it back to the cave. He didn't take his eyes off you. Even though you were facing away from him, you could feel his gaze on your back. You made a fire before dark. You ate some fruits while you were thinking. He approached to feed him. Again, this crap? Well, do you want to shit and vomit? Probably not. You have to eat. Why don't you just let me die? It'd be more dignified than eating this garbage. Could you please eat? He held the fruit while he ate. What do you call this fruit? Orphis. What a name. Or fuzz? Right? Do you like it? Of course not. I like the stuff that makes me shit. It keeps me slim. We don't eat it. It's slave food. Okay. When he finished, he gave him water and sat near the fire. You lay down near the campfire. Human. What? Let's assume everything he said is true. Why'd you save me? Good question. I don't know. I just did it. You only pretended to help me. You're doing it so that will lower my guard, aren't you? Dude. Your guard was lowered when he collapsed. Oop. You let me live just to take me to the other humans and torture me to make me talk. I mean, that would be a bit more valid thing, but still. I know you want to extract information from me, but you won't get it. I am loyal to the Empire. You will never get anything from me. So kill me now and finish the stupid game. Okay. Shut it, you femboy. I'm trying. I'm not lying when I say I want to help you. I don't believe a word you say. Whatevs. If I wanted to harm you, I would have done it already. It doesn't do me any good to get information out of you. We're alone on this remote island in the middle of nowhere. I understand. We're abandoned on this damn island. We have to cooperate if we want to stay alive. Also, I get lonely easily, so I need someone else. You're abandoned, not me. The Empire will come at any moment, and you'll wish you had killed me sooner, human. I doubt it. 6 days have passed, and there's no trace of Terran Federation or your Empire. They will. They will not abandon me. Humans abandon their own. We don't. Keep dreaming about your rescue. I'll keep trying to survive. Even so. Let me sleep. You close your eyes and try to sleep. And then he spoons you. During the night, the sound of lightning bolts woke you both up. Another strong storm hit the island. Can't sleep either? I was thinking about what you said. What? That you want to help me. Humans know no mercy. Just kill. Since your kind arrived, they just killed and destroyed everything they could. I could think of something, but I'm gonna keep away from that. Just saying. At least for now. I didn't choose to participate in this war, but you still kill my people. My father was in the Great War 40 years ago. I know very well the kind of monsters you are. As if humans were world destroyers, you arrived with a great explosion? In a single day, they devastated entire cities without mercy. Humans are bloodthirsty beasts. I will never forgive them for what they've done. Okay, so where are the invaders of their planet? I'm gonna kill every one of you. I swear that when I can stand again, I'll tear your throat out with my own hands. So kill me before that happens. I'm gonna kill the person that helped you? If I could, I'd do it right now. The rain calmed down a bit, and you both were able to sleep. Day 7. But that's gonna have to wait a bit. Say, I'm gonna look at your boji woji. But no, that's gonna be for another time maybe. So I'm gonna click that right there, then call it. Because that's gonna be the end of this quick look since we're out of time. So yeah, please comment, because I like comments, tempt you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my you and like it girl, then please like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the girl. Please remember to your animals that control the pet population. At some point, I should probably just start a video being like, please hit that like button. Ooh, I don't know. Could use more engagement. So anyways, again, if you want to play this game, you can get it for free on its channel. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month. Yeah. Hey, you know. And is there anything else I want to add? Oh yeah, if you want me to do a let's play of this game, then tell me, and it'll give a point of user choice and put it higher on the list. Though I'm kind of wondering how long this game is. It doesn't feel like a long game. So if it's short, then I might just play all the way through because, well, it might be some things. 'Cause I'm looking at some of these things and it's like, okay, it might be a bit longer than that because, like, oh, you only just see him bandaged up and stuff like that. But damn, he caked. I'm just looking at the itch.io things. And if you want me to quick look any other game, then tell me, and I'll add it to the quick look folder and give it a point to put up higher on the user's choice list because somebody suggested it. So anyways, enough about this game. We're going to have to use the random number generator of Destiny to pick the next game. So close that so it doesn't get confused. Put Sky Division in quick looked and then pick one. One, two. Oh, right. How many do we have? I guess Broken Sky could also be one that I could do a Let's Play series of, because that was a different one that was like, I don't know, I feel like it's for me, but it's like, even though I know that just the story, it's like, it's fine if people wanted me to do a Let's Play series of that game, but nobody has to actually pick that. Okay, so where are we? OBS, that's so 13. 13000, and then put it back 13. Its survey says number 7. Not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. King's Guard. A game about Boji Wojis, I think. For a second there I thought I accidentally that. Okay, there it is. I was like, why hasn't it appeared there? Wow, this seems extremely horny. And we just came from a game that had a femboy in it. Oh, let me minimize Steam just in case it decides to look at Steam voiced. Boop. Yes, I'm an adult. I do adult things. Yeah, as you see right there, extremely randy. Though it's artistic flair, right? Kingsguard. A game about... God, it also has a long thing. Oh, didn't you put that down a bit? Do I need to censor that? I mean, I don't know, really. Perhaps Samsa says, perhaps you are used to... Let me increase the size of this. Perhaps you're used to fairy tales and legends of heroes who journey... I'm gonna put the audio down just a smidge there. But... Options. There we go. Far off lands to defeat a great evil who threatens the peace of the world. But what you will quickly find in the story is no such thing, for you see, this world is already very much at peace. There may be a few bandits lying in wait on high roads, thieves who break into homes and in the dead of night, and pickpockets that extorts the prowling in the streets and whatever, exorcists. But there are no wars, very few famines, and certainly no evil sorcerer to stop. It'd be more perfect. No, it couldn't be a more perfect time to be alive, especially for our young prince, who is about to come of age and soon be rightfully chosen to lead the nation. He has suffered from few plights and rides on the coattails of his father's success, but all good things must come to an end. Underneath this peaceful world, there is a bubbling mire of conspiracy that seeks to drown our prince. With the assistance of those known as the King's Guard, selected individuals who serve as the bodyguards of the royal family, the prince, who soon be forced to flee from his home to escape those who would wish to end his life, to travel to an unknown world that he has only ever read about in books. His journey will be long and perilous. This is no dream come true, nor an adventure anyone would wish for, but is one that he has no choice but to see it through to the end. Also, like, that is just so randy right there, you know? Like, it's artistic as fuck, but still it's just like, sus? I might need to censor that, I don't know. But anyways, if you want to play this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you There it is. But if you want to support the people that make this game and are getting the news version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's get the most recent. Okay, $2 a month for the most recent build. Hyena. And until next time, another quick look by me, GamerWolfSix, of some other game. That being this one. One where, I mean, I guess YouTube's like, well, as long as it's autistic and stuff like that, it's completely fine. And this is artistic as fuck. Though, it does kind of make it seem like they don't have big bulgy orgies. Anyways, yep, thanks and see ya.